showing her face. So I don't even know how she look like now. So whether she don't become a balagia, I don't know. Whether soldiers. Now you're free with this. How big are you do well for letting me see her? Like for bringing your sister place for me to see. You're only making phone calls. You're not making video call for me to see. Now we never turn the house over there. I don't have pull up. My back camera doesn't work. I don't have pull up. Can you hear me? Is the back camera not working? No, somebody respond to me, please.
Front camera. Check whether this camera will not show. No, it's that side now. The two is showing. It's not showing. I only want to show. It's not showing. Front camera, we are not receiving your signal. What can you do? Walk it up. Before keep on walking talk, you may wait.
Has been rectified the sound pattern. That if somebody talking here, how will not enter?
It's not enter from here. But no, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. Okay, might give you now the screen. May not see. Sure, you now know say they no fit let her enter inside again.
I'd like to
So she
welcome
will be
once
outside. Eh?
again to this 51st
You said what?
convocation
Now you
for
now
the
know. They're not gonna let you now enter
University
again. People where they are not be human being them.
University.
People are very funny.
While we
You
are
where they
proceeding,
graduate, you they day
please
your house, they do
let
refreshments.
me
That's your business. If
welcome
you come, you will
very
stay outside. They don't go
warmly
over allow you enter inside. They will not allow you enter
Professor
inside.
Emiro Tolukari, Honorable Commissioner for Higher Education, representing the governor of Delta State. Let's appreciate him, please. Thank you, sir, for coming.
This thing, every Saturday they pay me.
We
They
also
would have allowed us
welcome
to do all
all the
these
way
things.
from Abuja.
The person would have not
We
understood them,
representative
understands all
of
these things.
Director
Both the
General
screen and every other. That's exactly what I
of
was saying.
one of the
They go, they
affiliate
bring their person. Now, no
institutions
be money, they
of
don't
one
waste.
great
They don't waste
university.
them. Even the
And
contractor, no
that
give on USB.
institution is the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILS, attached to the National Assembly of Abuja. Please join me to welcome Dr. Asiri Abiola. Please put your hands together. I appreciate also the former university librarian, Professor Luke Obasumi.
Please give a walkie-talkie to the front camera.
We also welcome
The
our
bag
great
is
daddy,
at our stand there
Professor
on the back.
Emeritus T.O.K. Aludu. Daddy, welcome. We God continue to bless you for your commitment. We welcome the immediate past Dean of Students, Professor Clement Nyogari. Welcome, sir. Join me to welcome a great friend of the university, the former special advisor to the Edo State government, and member of the National Staff Board, Ambassador Honorable Alarese Idubo JP. Thank you, sir, for coming. And appreciate also for his commitment, his continuing commitment to our university, the former Deputy Vice Chancellor of Administration, Professor Jacob O. Eyobu. Welcome, sir. Professor Matthias Umokai is also here. Please join me to welcome him. Welcome, sir. We appreciate you. And another great friend of the university, an MP Royal Choice Hotels, Mrs. Grace Akiva. Welcome. Looking resplendent in her daily colors. Welcome. We welcome Osama Paul Egosa, Chairman, Univen Branch of the University of Benin Alumni Association. Welcome, sir. We welcome your team as well. Welcome. I welcome the engineer. zealous procession. indulgence of the Chairman of Convocation, the Chancellor, to establish the protocol for this grand ceremony. Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and visitor of the University of Benin, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably represented by the Vice Chancellor, University of Port Harcourt, Professor Awunari Abraham Georgeville, KFC. The Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Olatunji Alawusa, CON. Your Excellency, the Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo. Your Excellencies, all present, the past governors, members of the Federal Executive Council here present, members of the National Assembly who are here, Speaker and members of the Edo State House of Assembly, my Lord, the Chief Judge of Edo State, Chairman of Convocation and our revered Chancellor, the Royal Majesty Ochivere Professor James Ontese Ayazwa Ayatse, CFR, Tortiv, and Chairman, Benue State Council of Traditional Rulers. Please put your hands together. Beloved Royal Father, His Royal Majesty Omonoba Nedo Ukua Golokolo of our FY, the second CFR, all Royal Fathers here present, our pragmatic Pro-Chancellor and Chairman Governing Council, Professor Shuaibu Umaru, and members of the Governing Council of the University, our transformational and indefatigable Vice Chancellor and Learned Silk, Professor Edoba Omoyege, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, former Vice Chancellors of our university, visiting Vice Chancellors and heads of institutions, principal officers, present and past, the provosts, deans, directors, members of Senate of the university, professors emeriti, members of the diplomatic corps, my lords, graduating students, parents and guardians, staff and students, University of Benin alumni, invited guests, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This is indeed a great day as the University of Benin welcomes you all to the 51st Convocation for the award of higher degrees of PhDs, Masters, and postgraduate diplomas. To commence the proceedings of Convocation, it is now my honor to invite the Registrar of the University and Secretary to Council, Mr. Adebola Bobola, to the microphone. Mr. Registrar, let's appreciate the Registrar.
Chancellor, sir, kindly allow me to continue to abide by the protocol as duly established by the university's PRO and all courtesies duly extended. I have the singular honor and privilege to call on the Vice Chancellor, Professor Edoba Omoyege, son, to present the visitor of the university. Mr. Vice Chancellor. Chancellor, sir. Your Excellencies, Vice Chancellors, Vices, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you visitor of the University of Benin, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, here ably represented by my colleague, my friend, Mr. Awunari Abraham Georgeville, Vice Chancellor of the University of Port Harcourt.
Chancellor, sir, the University of Benin Transitional Provisions Act, U4, as captured in the laws of the Federation 2004, Section 6, drawing on the functions of the Chancellor, and in particular, subsection 1. The Chancellor shall, in relation to the university, take precedence before all other members of the university, and when he is present, as we are privileged to have him here with us today, shall preside at all meetings of congregation held for conferring degrees and at all meetings of convocation. A highly revered Chancellor, before ascending the throne of his great forefathers, served successfully in 2 federal universities as Vice Chancellor. He distinguished himself as a scholar, and he rose up to become a professor, eminent one for that, of biochemistry. I think we should give our Chancellor a round of applause. It is therefore my bountiful duty today and a privilege to call upon the Chancellor of this great university, His Royal Majesty Ochibiri, Professor James Otese Yozua Ayase, CFR, the 13th and primary ruler of the TV nation worldwide. And of course, the chairman, Benedict States Council of Traditional Rulers, to declare convocation open. Chancellor.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome you to this assembly. And let me state that all that will have opportunity to address convocation shall just adopt the protocol that has been well established by the PRO of the university to save time. Having said that, by the powers conferred on me as Chancellor, I hereby constitute this assembly as convocation of the University of Benin for the conferment of postgraduate diplomas, master's and Doctor of Philosophy degrees. I declare the convocation open.
Chancellor, sir, I have the rare honor and privilege to call upon you, sir, to address this assembly. Chancellor, sir.
Permit me to adopt the protocol established by the PRO of the university, and to further go ahead to welcome all of you to this 51st convocation of the university. We express thanks to God Almighty for the grace to join you all and to preside at this auspicious 21st convocation ceremony for the award of higher degrees and diplomas. I bring you warm felicitations from the tea people worldwide that I serve as their overall paramount king. I appreciate the visitor and President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for the opportunity to continue to render my service to the nation in my capacity as Chancellor of the Great University of Benin. I must acknowledge and commend the efforts of Mr. President through our highly resourceful Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, CON, on the funding and development of infrastructure in our tertiary institution. We have witnessed in the last few years a reinvigoration of our higher education sector through various programs and policies of the federal government. The major ones include the establishment of the Nigerian Education Loan Funds and NEFUND scheme. This student initiative has already started revolutionizing the education accessibility across Nigeria with over 800,000 beneficiaries so far. Also, the Hydra-headed Ubiquitous Tertiary Education Trust Fund were renewed mandates for projects execution, provision of infrastructure, capacity building, and research innovations is impacting tertiary education in ways that are far beyond what the founders of the fund ever envisaged. The University of Benin has benefited immensely from these federal government's interventions. And in 2025 alone, the university secured government's approval in the expansion of medical programs and facilities, in addition to the approval of new hostels and renovation of existing ones, as well as the installation of high-grade solar mini-grid electricity. The Federal Executive Council approval of the new Senate building and release of funds for the project, which is currently under construction, is heartwarming. The university has also been selected by the federal government as a center of excellence in sports for the South-South geopolitical zone of the country. This has brought immense joy to stakeholders in the university community, and we pledge our commitment to excellence and exemplary performance. The university is indeed appreciative of these favors and grateful to Mr. President. Education is the key factor to socio-economic development of a nation, and we are glad that this administration is determined to prioritize education by the commendable policies and actions already taken. Despite these commendable efforts, a lot still needs to be done. We therefore appeal to the federal government to address the severe funding challenges in the education sector by increasing budgetary allocation to education to meet recommended international standards. This will help reduce significantly the current brain drain that is making Nigeria lose her best scholars, a situation that further exacerbates academic staff shortages and negative impact on the quality of education. The federal government, in its continued quest for quality tertiary education, is, however, further encouraged to increase revitalization funds for our universities and endeavor to settle outstanding salary arrears and allowances of workers. These will serve as great motivators and moral boosters and demonstrate government's commitment to university staff welfare. Worthy of mention and commendation on the issue of staff welfare is the new tertiary institution staff support fund launched a few months ago by the federal government to offer interest-free loans to eligible tertiary staff. This move has shown government's intentionality in ensuring economic empowerment of workers of institutions of higher learning. We have read in the press the widely circulated promise that by the President that under his watch, staff unions in the universities will have no reason to go on strike. We sincerely appreciate this bold declaration by the President and appeal to him to address the issues that led to the 2-week warning strike by ASU in October and give directives to ensure that the lingering issues are laid to rest once and for all. The President has demonstrated sufficient political will in many areas in the polity. We believe the same can be extended to staff unions in tertiary institutions on a sustainable basis for a stable and healthy education climate. In this regard, let me suggest that the President should consider directing on the approach of tying salaries of staff in tertiary education to the national inflation rate so that on an annual basis, salaries of staff are automatically adjusted in line with inflation. There will be no need for staff to go on strike to have a review of salary. This will go a long way in reducing disruptions in the academic calendars of tertiary education due to incessant industrial disputes. Also, our university teaching hospitals across the nation are yearning for attention. They could be upgraded optimally for cutting-edge medical practice so as to check medical tourism and other forms of capital flight. At this juncture, and on a worrisome note, I call on the federal government to take more serious actions to deal with the current alarming insecurity in the country. Government should consider the need to develop indigenous aerospace technology as one of the ways to tackle incessant banditry and cases of insurgency in parts of the country. The current fear and uncertainties of road travels due to insecurity have grievous consequences on the people's side and well-being. I must commend the President and Commander-in-Chief on the 7-year moratorium imposed on the establishment of new institutions of higher learning. This ban is expected to help government consolidate resources and improve the quality and standard of existing universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. It is expected that concentrating on existing institutions will lead to provision of better facilities, more effective teaching and research, and therefore guarantee production of higher quality graduates. I use this opportunity to congratulate the Vice Chancellor, Professor Edoba B. Omorige's son, and his team for the great work that they are doing, especially with the implementation of the Vice Chancellor's 5-point agenda, which captures his mission to take the university to a higher level. As they say, morning shows the day. The Vice Chancellor has proven, even in less than a year of his assumption of office, that it means serious business. His networking and outreach to all sectors are not without our notice and commendation. The recent engagement of over 500 new staff in the university is a result of the Vice Chancellor's doggedness and purposeful leadership. Let me also applaud the Pro-Chancellor and members of the Governing Council for their outstanding performance and for strengthening the Vice Chancellor's hands for the good performance we are appreciating today. I commend all staff and students for the cooperation in ensuring peace and stability on campus. Please keep up the spirit. I congratulate all the postgraduate diplomas and higher degrees graduates at this 51st Convocation ceremony. The knowledge that you have acquired is for service, not only for yourselves, but also for the larger society. Endeavor to make the difference in your respective corners and be the deserving ambassadors of the great University of Benin that has put so much to groom you to become worthy in character and in learning. We look forward to seeing and hearing of you in the global space as you contribute meaningfully to the development of the country and humanity in your various spheres. I must also commend the university's alumni members worldwide who have remained faithful and committed to their alma mater. I urge you not to relent in lending your support. Let me, as I end this address, appreciate all of you for coming. May God bless you as you travel back to your destinations after the ceremony.
Please, let's give our very revered Chancellor a round of applause again. Chancellor, sir, I have the singular honor and privilege to call on the Pro-Chancellor, a highly distinguished scholar, an institute administrator, Professor Shuaibu Umar, to address convocation. Pro-Chancellor.
It is truly with great gratitude and delight to Almighty Allah that we are here to witness this historic occasion of the 25th Convocation and 25th Founders Day ceremony of our great institution, the University of Benin. On behalf of the Governing Council and the teeming University of Benin community, I bring you warm greetings. I also express joy that the university, in the pursuit of excellence, has continued to establish itself in all spheres of human endeavor and has been a catalyst of greater achievements. Our gathering is no doubt an occasion to celebrate the hard work, dedication, and resilience of our latest graduates. This ceremony marks the culmination of years of perseverance, and the beginning of a new chapter where the scholars are expected to utilize the knowledge gained to positively affect society and to carry out forth the university's motto of knowledge for service. The University of Benin's reception and recognition as fully-fledged university has produced over 370,000 graduates. Yesterday, over 15,000 new graduates were added to the number at the first degree level, while today, approximately 1,790 graduates will be awarded higher degrees. We therefore congratulate you all and the university management, the teaching and non-teaching staff for the hard work and commitment that have been put in to achieve these glorious outcomes. We are consistently guided by the National University Commission Blueprint, which provides the essential framework that ensures the quality and integrity of our academic programs. Our compliance with admission standards, courses offered across the 21 faculties and schools, as well as degrees we award to graduates, are all in alignment with the NUC's national policy on education. These levels of conformity, coupled with the dedication and effort of our staff, who ensure the learning and the right values are impacted into students, have made the University of Benin unique and respected among the community of universities. Our graduates are highly sought after within Nigeria and globally because they are trained to be industry ready and impact focused. I appreciate greatly the magnitude of the visitor of the university, His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his level of support and commitment to the development of education in the country. In the current dispensation, the federal government has been most benevolent to the University of Benin. Part of this benevolence is the approval of the construction of a new Senate building, and which has taken off with great speed. The federal government has also named the University of Benin as a beneficiary of the hybrid solar mini-grid electricity and designated the university as the center of excellence in sport for South. These are indeed commendable gestures. I also commend the visible efforts of the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Education, Dr. Tuja Alhausa, CON, for his positive actions aimed at the development and progress of tertiary education in the country. The minister's drive in his position in the universities to be at par with their contemporaries worldwide are acknowledged and appreciated. We are grateful to the Governor of Edo State, His Excellency Senator Monde Babekoro, for his hands of fellowship extended to the university the various collaboration going on with the state government. We are confident that more will be achieved together by the government and the University of Benin for the benefit of our people. The support by the state government could not have been possible without the enviable and commendable drive Professor Edoba Omorogesan, who has proved to be astute and focused in actualizing his 5-point agenda in the administration of the university. The Vice Chancellor's inclusive style has yielded immense fruits and dividends which are also helping the University of Benin to blossom as a foremost center of higher learning. Well done, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Let me at this point put on record the contribution of alumni worldwide to the institution. They have been instrumental to part of the successes of the school. We urge them to continue to distinguish themselves in all spheres of human endeavor and to continue to support their alma mater. The general narrative has been challenged. It has been of challenges in the country. I decided, however, to shift my focus to the seeds of progress being sown, the green shoots of recovery and innovation that are steadily reshaping our economy and social landscape. These developments manifest in meaningful policies by the government in agriculture and commerce. We are currently witnessing a period of significant, though challenging transformation. The current reforms, though made with hardship, are expected to lay new foundations for sustainable growth. The emphasis on agriculture is not only about food security but also for wealth creation. Furthermore, it is the area of digital innovations and creators where there is a revolution in our technology sector. Nigeria's technology ecosystem has become a beacon of hope for young people as they are gaining global presence, as we see in the emergence of a new generation of entrepreneurs and problem solvers. It is my hope that many of you will key into the government's lofty plans for creative industry. Finally, my dear graduates, you are graduating at a time of great expectations and vast opportunities that need to be accessed. The Nigeria you are entering is one that is hungry for skills, for your skills, your competencies, your ethical leadership. I charge you to develop a positive mindset in your approaches. Uphold the values of integrity and continue to learn as your degree is not the end of your education. You are the greatest assets that Nigeria requires in this development. Your energy, education, and vision are the most to be possibly deployed, and we believe you will achieve your goals. I thank all parents, guardians, staff of the university for the steadfast support in ensuring that goals are met. Congratulations to you all, and once again I wish you God's blessings. Thank you, guys.
Chancellor, sir, I have the real honor and privilege to call on the Vice Chancellor of this university, a distinguished scholar, a learned Sikh, Professor Edoba B. Omorogesan, Advocate of Nigeria's son, to address convocation. Sir, Vice Chancellor.
Chancellor, sir, permit me to stand on the well-established protocol. It is with immense joy and gratitude to God Almighty that I welcome you all to the 51st Convocation and the 55th Founder Day Ceremonies of our great university, the University of Benin. Today marks another milestone in the life of our university, especially for our graduating students who have toiled to attain present goalposts of success. We welcome very especially our dynamic president and visitor, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, here represented by my dear brother and friend, Professor Gosby, Vice Chancellor of the Ministry of Harcourt. We welcome also our dear Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Opeodo, who is also here represented, who has been a pillar of support to the university. This is my first address to convocation as Vice Chancellor of this university. I took office in December last year. I joined the Chancellor and the Pro-Chancellor to heartily acknowledge and congratulate everyone who is part of this historic event. I must put on record that the last 11 months have witnessed a quantum leap in successful delivery of our set goals in the spheres of academics, infrastructural development, staff and student welfare, and in community service. Our objectives have been aptly articulated in our 5-point agenda, which constitute the roadmap of this tenure. And the agenda is carefully calibrated to align with the university's strategic vision. And for record, let me point them out. First, to strengthen the degree programs in line with the emerging national and global trends. Second, to reposition the University of Benin as an innovative capacity building and skill acquisition hub across professions, disciplines, and vocations. Third, mainstream staff and student welfare. Fourth, to improve significantly the infrastructure of the university with special focus on multiple electricity access, functional internet service, conducive hostel and office facilities, and environmentally friendly initiatives. And last but certainly not the least, forward forging harmonious relations with staff and students union, as well as the immediate neighboring communities. This agenda, must say humbly, are being accomplished in a very committed way. I'm confident to announce that visible successes are being recorded every day. Now to the high point of this convocation address. I start with the academic scorecard. The University of Benin has marched on steadily to produce graduates who are worthy in character and learning. Our graduates are not only imbued with knowledge and requisite skills, they are also taught the values of hard work, resilience, to help them navigate life's trajectories. This year's convocation is unique. The simple fact that the 2024-2025 academic calendar has run smoothly and without hitch, perhaps for the first time in many, many years. The graduates are all, no doubt, joyous that their sojourn in the university has come to a pleasant and desirable conclusion without hitch. At the first degree level, we announced yesterday that we graduated a total of 14,083 graduates, which are categorized as follows. The first class category, we have 198 students graduated. Second class upper division, we have 4,217. In the second class lower division, we have 7,928. In third class, we have 578 who did not graduate any with a pass degree. So we should clap for that. That's a positive development, is that not so? Then we have the diploma category, we have 212. And then we are not giving out any certificate this year. Then we have unclassified degrees, which are 495 altogether, those in the medical fields. 10 of them came out with distinction. We also have those who are in diplomat category and graduated with 221 of them graduating with merit credit level, and then at the merit level we have 67 of them. And then at the pass level we have 57 of them. Altogether 14,083. For today's ceremony of award of higher degrees, the results are as follows. First, we have the PhD category, where we have 334. We need to clap very well for this. Because this is the value of the PhD. Then we have master's degree category, where we have 1,008 of them. And then to the MPhil category, we have 25. And then we have the postgraduate diplomas, where we have 423. Altogether, we are graduating 1,790. This result is a marked improvement over those of previous years, and therefore indicative of the increased seriousness of staff and students, ensuring that our university marches on with rigor and vigor, not only in the undergraduate class, but also in the postgraduate class. I must say, just deviating slightly from the address, that we have taken particular interest in postgraduate training, and this year we are expecting not less than 7,000 entrants into our postgraduate programs, up from 5,000 in the immediate past academic session. We congratulate you all, graduates, for all the well-deserved successes, and enjoin you to continuously strive for excellence in your future endeavors. The result of higher degrees for the academic session under FOCO is particularly phenomenal and represents 600% increase from the figures of the convocation of last year, where you had only 241 graduates. The increased number is the direct positive outcome of our effort in the last 11 months since assumption of office as Vice Chancellor to upscale the postgraduate degree programs offered by the University of Benin. We started by the upgrading of the postgraduate school to the College of Postgraduate Studies as a strategic move at the position of the university as an institution both for advanced academic training and for innovative capacity building. The main objective of the transformation is to make the College of Postgraduate Studies semi-autonomous and capable of instituting a stable academic calendar with setting of commencement and conclusion dates. In this regard, I must also put on record that for the first time, we have now a postgraduate calendar approved by the Senate, so that when you start, you know where it ends. And so I will encourage those of you who are graduating master's degree now to go online and apply for PhD. You know where you start and you know where you end. We are happy that within a very short period, this objective is being realized. We therefore call on all members of the University Committee to join hands with management to sustain this success story. And just go on to other academic milestones. Many other great strides have indeed been recorded by this administration since coming on board. For example, we now have 5 new faculties that have been created within the past less than 1 year, while we have 17 new academic programs duly approved by the National Universities Commission, the NUC. The new faculties are the Faculty of Communication and Media Studies, Faculty of Computing, Faculty of Nursing Sciences, Faculty of Optometry, and Faculty of Science Lab Technology. The new 17 programs are Bachelor of Science in Cyber Security, Bachelor of Science in Information and Communication Technology, Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, Bachelor of Science in Software Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Data Science. I must say that these programs used to be under the Department of Computer Science, that have now become the Faculty of Computing. We also now have the Doctor of Physiotherapy, which used to be Bachelor of Science in Physiotherapy, which has now been upgraded to the Doctor of Physiotherapy. Then we have the Bachelor of Science in Broadcasting, Bachelor of Science in Public Relations, Bachelor of Science in Advertising, Bachelor of Science in Multimedia Studies, all of which used to be compounded together as Department of Mass Communication. It's also now been upgraded to become Faculty of Communication and Media Studies. We have also introduced the Bachelor of Science in Peace and Conflict Resolution. Now we also have the Bachelor of Science in Development Studies. And then the Bachelor of Science in Public Health. And then we have renamed some of our programs, and then we have been approved also to run them. And that is the Bachelor of Agriculture in Agricultural Economics and Resource Management. We have the Bachelor of Agriculture in Agricultural Extension and Rural Development. We have now the Bachelor of Science in Geography and Disaster Risk Management. And finally, the Bachelor of Engineering in Geomatics. These programs were approved following the successful resource verification by the National Universities Commission. We expect that prospective candidates will utilize the opportunity offered by the university to develop themselves along the lines of these new programs. And now go to accreditation. We are happy to announce that all programs of the university are duly accredited by the university. In particular, the veterinary medicine program, which suffered accreditation hiccup before we took office, has been successfully accredited by the National Universities Commission. We thank all those who worked hard to overcome the challenges for making the accreditation possible. We go now to information technology and the IC and the ICRP unit of the university. In order to enhance the university's visibility, we embark on an intensive activation and reinvigoration of the university's website to make it more vibrant and in line with global trends, as we promised in our 5-year agenda. The actions taken are expected to boost the university's regional and global ranking and to increase the marketability of our graduates who are doing very well across the globe and can do actually even better. We have also greatly enhanced the university's result management software through the acquisition and deployment of a brand new intranet server system dedicated solely for the purpose. This to ensure a seamless, fast, and error-free result management process in line with the requirements of the 21st century. Before I came, to get our results was hellish, to say the least. Now we have streamlined the process, and shortly after you take your exams and send, conclude the process of vetting, you get your results. It will interest you to note that the University of Benin among top among the federal universities which comply with the federal government directive on web visibility of public funds granted to the federal universities by the federal government. The upgrading of the university website, as we did when I took office, made it possible. It was all over the news that the University of Benin came first. The federal government was worried that many of its infrastructural funding projects or programs were not being reported, even on the university website. And so the Federal Minister of Education directed that all universities should place on their websites all the funding support that the federal government was giving. And the University of Benin did that and came first amongst all the universities across the country, federal universities. A major administrative reorganization that we have effected is the establishment of the Directorate of Examinations and Student Records, with the appointment of a Professor of Engineering as the Director. I have also instituted digitalization of student records to address the major concern of our long-time members regarding the prompt processing of their request for transcript and confirmation of their academic and other records. We are working towards achieving 100% seamless operations in examinations and student record system. To complement what we are doing, we decided to install a dedicated solar power system in the exams and records so that we don't have to bother about electricity. So the place runs 24/7. without any hitch as far as electricity provisioning is concerned. Also, a new Directorate of Advancement and Alumni Relations with the supporting board has been created. This will further strengthen our interaction with all our valued alumni worldwide and promote the university's advancement process. In this regard, we have recently put together a trusteeship to drive our advancement efforts, which has involved fund mobilization to meet the increasing needs of the university in many areas of infrastructure. And I'm going to address Center of Excellence in Sports. As already mentioned, the university was picked as the hub for sports advancement by the Federal Ministry of Education, naming the university as the Center of Excellence in Sports. During the period, we've also created a number of other vocational training interventions in addition to those we have mentioned. Now, first we have the Center for Continuing Legal Education, the CCLE. This is to take advantage of the requirement by the Nigerian Bar Association now that all lawyers must gain continuing legal education. We also have the Vocational and Technical Training Program. We have resuscitated the University of Benin block molding factory as part of the experimental feeds for our Department of Civil Engineering, but also to provide avenues for fund mobilization, IGR fund mobilization. We have strengthened the university's African Institute for Management and Leadership through synergies with the Edo State government to train personnel of the Edo State Internal Revenue Service on effective and transparent revenue collection and operational efficiency. The institute is also finalizing collaboration with the National Assembly for capacity building training in different areas of leadership and management. A few weeks ago, the university launched a new vocational training program anchored by the Vocational and Technical Training Program, captioned Fundamentals of Automobile Services and Periodic Maintenance Training Program for engineering students of the university. The VTTP is also currently building the capacity for over 200 artisanal trainees under a program sponsored by the Industrial Training Fund, the ITF. The training cuts across many areas of skill acquisition such as tailoring, carpentry, catering, event planning, hairdressing, and so forth. These training hubs reflect our commitment to producing graduates who are not only academically competent, but also industry ready. I must say that this is part of our 5-point agenda, agenda number 2. Then I address the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund. University, under my stewardship, has vigorously and systematically encouraged students' enrollment into the NELFund. The NELFund is a federal government initiative designed to accelerate students' access to funding for their tertiary education. From my initial enrollment of just about 300 in the 2023-2024 academic session, before I assumed office, the figure has risen to 6,560 in the 2024-2025 academic session. The enrollment is expected to double in the fresh 2025-2026 academic session, going by the awareness created by the fund in less than 1 year. We must applaud the President, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for establishing the fund and by so doing significantly reducing the financial stress of students in the process of acquiring tertiary education. We enjoin students and their parents to take full advantage of the federal government's benevolence in instituting the fund. For our university, I must say that we have benefited immensely from that fund because before I took office, the record showed that we had a perennial problem where students would have problems paying their school charges. Throughout the year, we continue to struggle. And then when NELFund came, that problem has significantly eased. And I go to grants and collaboration. As part of systematic efforts to connect with international bodies and institutions, the University of Benin is collaborating with the Fujian Jiangxia University, China. The agreement signed by the 2 universities is expected to boost international partnership and promote robust exchange of programs by staff and students. In the last 11 months, our scholars have won recognition in national and international competitions, and many have attracted grants to the university. In January, a team of researchers led by Professor Andrew Amenarao attracted the European Union grant for sustainable plastic waste and recycling management project. The project is targeted at revolutionizing sustainable plastic waste management and recycling practice in institutions of higher learning in Nigeria and South Africa. Through the hard work of another team led by Professor Sarabo Udar, Uniben emerged the overall winner of the National Automotive Design and Development Council's inaugural 8-seater electric vehicle campus shuttle bus design competition. The competition held in March this year at the University of Lagos. We congratulate the research team from the Department of Mechanical Engineering for the great feat and for bringing honor to the university. In fact, following this successful outing, the National Automotive Design and Development Council has begun building an electric vehicle charging station here at the University of Benin. And it's also a conversion station as well. Also through the leadership and efforts of another team led by Professor Christopher Mokaro, Dean of the Faculty of Agriculture, the university has also won the grant instituted by the Nigerian Youth Empowerment Through Skill Acquisition Funds. This grant qualifies the University of Benin to be engaged as a training service provider in poultry farming by the Federal Ministry of Education, working in collaboration with the World Bank. The university has since trained and graduated the first set of trainees under the program. Also worthy of mention is the emergence of Faculty of Law as the best team in the 2025 Philip C. Jesu International Book Court competition held in Washington, D.C., United States of America. The team of 5 students mentored by Dr. Kesema Philip locked on the students from 18 other countries to come tops. And now go to infrastructural development and environmental sustainability. In recognition of the importance of conducive environment for teaching and learning, we have demonstrated in no small measure our commitment to the development of infrastructure and environmental sustainability. We started last year when I was inaugurated on the 2nd of December. I walked down at the conclusion of the inauguration to plant 2 trees just by the Vice Chancellor's office there. And thereafter we followed with planting 5,000 trees across the entire university. It's part of our agenda for environmental sustainability. In the past months, we have embarked on renovation of hostels, classrooms, and staff offices. We have concluded some projects that will make our foundation stages. We have been given approval by our principal, the federal government, and its agencies for the construction and furnishing of new structures. We also enjoy benevolence of public individuals and corporate organizations together with alumni during the past months. I don't lead the interventions. The construction and furnishing of a new Senate building, the construction of modern and sustainable hotel Block A, construction of modern construction of modern and sustainable hostel Block B, construction of optometric building Phase 3, construction and furnishing of studios for environmental sciences, construction of medical office building sited in our UPTH, which is our sister institution, the installation of hybrid solar mini-grid electricity across the campuses of Yale and Ekewa campus, and of course, even our UPTH here is going to be a 16 megawatt station. Completion and furnishing of Daisy and Heinrich Danjuman's solar powered hostel number 3. Completion and furnishing of the Petroleum Energy System Research Center. Construction of motor vehicle charging station. The provision of high power digital Nikon cameras with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for our public relations department. When I came, we were still using manual-powered photograph equipment, and I thought that was very wrong. So we have a very modern, photography system now that can serve anywhere in the world. I want to mention very especially telephone interventions. The Pro-Chancellor and the Chancellor have already spoken on this. And telephone is ubiquitous, not only in the rest of Benin, but all across the country. But in the past 11 months, we have received enormous support from telephone. I just mentioned them in highlight because of time. We received enormous support on telephone for scholarship, for academics, for training and development. We also received a lot of physical infrastructural interventions. We mentioned the Senate building earlier. We received ICT interventions. We also received intervention for our medical expansion program, 4 billion naira. We received the simulation lab, which we have the figures that don't mention, but we are told that it's going to be multi-billion as well. We received funding for medical hostel expansion. We received funding for aquaculture, which is already in existence, but we received 400 million for expansion of that program. And then the big one, we received 1 billion for agricultural commercialization program. I think we should clap for that. All from TEDFOR. So I now go to staff recruitment. Your Excellencies, I must put on record that for 10 years, this university was stagnated as far as staff recruitment was concerned. As part of our efforts to address the depth of teaching and research staff, we injected fresh innovations into the system by going to make our presentation to the Federal Ministry of Education and appeal for federal government approval to embark on recruitment of staff. We got a listening ear from Mr. President, who directed the Federal Minister of Education to ease up the approval process. And the result is that we were able to recruit 500 new staff within the past few months. Most of them are already begun to collect their letters of employment. We have also mainstreamed staff and student welfare. For staff in particular, before we came, there were challenges with postgraduate supervision payments. And a lot of residents complained, and rightly so, that they participate in postgraduate teaching and supervision and they have to get paid. They have to get paid, but now that is no longer the case. We have made sure that at every turn, all our postgraduate teaching and supervision payments are made. For students, we have done massive facelift in their hostels, and the process continues even under the current academic session. I now go to community engagement. We enjoy cordial relations with our neighboring communities around the campus. I want to mention in particular the communities such as Ubowo, Ekosodi, Usasogie, Ekewan, Efosa, and Ute communities. The nagging issue of university side bills has been resolved amicably following our meetings with leaders and indigenous of Ute and Efosa communities. When I took office on 2nd December, the first thing I did, about community engagement was to visit these two last named communities. That is the Efosa community and the Ute community. In visiting them, the focus was to ensure that even as we are crowned in court, we should make peace. Because it's one thing to win the war, it's another thing to win the peace. And so I must put on record that with the support of our Royal Majesty, the Honorable Nendo Kwakolokono, the Oba Bini, Oba Edward Second CFR, Oba Tope, whose fatherly and mediated rule helped us to ensure that the legal crisis were resolved without further question. Today, there is harmonious coexistence between the university and its neighboring community. This peaceful state of affairs has encouraged management of the university to fulfill effectively its corporate and the corporate social responsibility. We are glad that many qualified individuals of this community have been engaged not only as non-academic staff but even as academic staff. I want to mention in particular a young man in the Department of Educational Management, Environmental Management and Toxicology, who with a PhD was jobless. And when we visited the community, he ran to me to say, "Sir, I have a PhD but I don't have a job." From Mute community here, and immediately we granted him adjunct lectureship. And when we began the recruitment process in September, I was one of those that was invited for interview and he triumphed. And so he's now part of our faculty. And I begin to conclude my address. The wheel of progress is on course and moving steadily in the University of Benin. This administration is poised to deliver on its mandate of effective, practical teaching, sound learning, result-oriented research, and impactful community service. We enjoin all staff, students, alumni, and other stakeholders to join hands with the university authorities to enhance the fortunes of the institution. Once again, collaborate and congratulate all guidance at this year's convocation. We challenge you to be positively minded, to be daring, to be innovative, and to keep your eyes constantly on the ball of distinction. Never lower the high standards with which you have been raised at the University of Benin. May God help you to be the best that you can be. Now to appreciation. Let me appreciate the following. First, we start with God Almighty for all that He continues, God continues to do in our life, for even bringing us here and being able to talk even now. We thank the President, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the Minister of Education, Dr. Olatunji Alausa, a very tireless Minister of Education, and of course the Federal Executive Council as a whole. How to put on record that our 16 megawatt solar powered mini grid, which is on course, is assured to be truly on course because the Federal Executive Council has approved 140 billion for the project to start. Of course, for the military alone, that amount is very staggering. So that is for 700 institutions training in the University of Benin. We are grateful to His Royal Majesty, our very distinguished Chancellor, an academic of no mean order, brilliance in every sense of the word, the tortilla for his fatherly guidance and counsel at all times, especially at critical moments. We do not take your counsel and your support for granted, sir. Our Royal Father, His Royal Majesty, the Honorable Nendo Kwakolokono, is in our esteem for his kind and strong support, as well as his constant prayers for our success. I thank the chairman and members of the University Government Council for the wonderful role that they play in getting many of our plans actualized. You are dependable allies in moving the university to greater heights. At this point, it is important to acknowledge immensely benefactors of the university. I put on record, in particular, Senator Daisy Danjuma for our wonderful philanthropic intervention, which has made it possible for us to have 3 male students of the university. And he has also promised that when you have the female, you must also have what? The male. And that the next round of intervention now will be hosted for the male. We want to also commend our alumni body. In our environmental sustainability program, they provide support with 660-liter waste bins, which were commissioned 2 days ago. We want to also commend the management staff and students for their individual and collective contributions to the development of the university. We urge you all to continue to support the university in our efforts to leave lasting legacies as we continue to make progress. May God Almighty bless and preserve all of us. Thank you very much. And may God take you back to your own safety.
Chancellor, sir, with your kind permission, may I request Convocation to give a round of applause to the Vice Chancellor. The next item on the program now is recognition and presentation of goodwill by sister institutions. We've compiled the names here, but if you are not called eventually after this set, please tell any of the people or ushers around that we can duly recognize you. The process is for you to come forward, present your goodwill. The Vice Chancellor will have a handshake with you and collect the goodwill message. Chancellor, sir, kindly allow us to proceed to the next point. First institution on the list here is Lighthouse University, Benin. Professor Osewege, who is the Vice Chancellor and also the Registrar, Mr. Lajide, to come forward and do the presentation. Please let's give them a round of applause. We have with us representing the Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Petroleum Resources, Ifru Delta State, Professor and an engineer to Chedu Onwaho, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration of that university. While that one is going on, we invite Dr. Andrew Osaibo of Mosefe, the Provost, Edo State College of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Igoria, to present his message to the Vice Chancellor. Please let's give him a round of applause as he does it. Dr. Aruturi Nosana, Rector, Edo State Polytechnic, who said, and again, the representative of the Vice Chancellor of University of Ilorin, Professor Mokta Echudai, should also be on his way. Professor Echudai, representing the Vice Chancellor, University of Ilorin. Professor Dr. Eguaye is the DVC in charge of Research, Technology and Innovation. And the Vice Chancellor of that university is also a senior advocate of Nigeria, just like our Vice Chancellor. Let's give the rest of the men a hand of applause. Solidarity for all. We also have here the Deputy Vice Chancellor, based in the outside university, representing the Vice Chancellor, Professor Taid Ekra Kene. Western Delta University, the representative of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Henry Ogato. Professor Henry Ogato. We have all the way from University of Abuja, representing the Vice Chancellor of the University, the Registrar of that University, Sambo Mohammed. And the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Development, Olusegun Agago, University of Science and Technology, Okechukwu, Professor Dipo Akobolafe. Representing the Delta State College of Education, Mosoga, representing the Provost, Mr. Simon Foley, the Registrar of that University. We have representing the Ghanaian University, Okada, Professor Christy Emma Viwe, Director of Human Resource, representing the Vice Chancellor. Please let's give her a round of applause. Distinguished Professor of Human Resource. In order to show full solidarity to the University of Benin, we have a powerful delegation from Dennis Osalibe University in Asaba. It's a public university. Professor O.I. Inoni and then Mrs. Genevieve Isioma Obadan, the Registrar of that University. The Registrar is an alumni of the University of Benin and she's very proud of this university. Please let me buy a round of applause. We have also representing the National Open University, all the way from Abuja, Professor Yemisi Ogunlela. And then we have the representative of the Director General, National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. Yes, I said yesterday, you are also here today. Come around, sir. So come around, sir, to have a handshake. Let's showcase that institute where the Vice Chancellor came from. Director of Programs of that National Institute, representing Professor Suleiman Abubakar, the Director General of that institute. He sent apology and said you will be here. This is the final day, you should know you are around. Dr. Abiola. And the last but not the least here is one that I'm very passionate with because that's where I have my roots as an administrator before I veered into other areas like University of Benin. Representing the Vice Chancellor of University of Benin, Federal University of Technology, Akure, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic of that university, and the Registrar of that university, they are here. Professor Titi Amos, and my brother Charles Adela, the Registrar of that university. Please give my own people a round of applause. I'm a Joseph in the foreign land. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I think resume your seats. honor to call on the Provost College of Postgraduate Studies, Professor David Osakai Izeko, to present the students of the College of Postgraduate Studies who have fulfilled the requirements of postgraduate diploma as prescribed by the university. I think the provost, maybe it's better for us to announce that the provost wants his chance here so that to consult and he goes ahead to present the master's degree graduates and thereafter to Doctor of Philosophy. Thank you, sir. The provost.
Will the recipients of the postgraduate diplomas please stand? Chancellor, sir, in the name of the College of Postgraduate Studies and by the authority of Senate, I present to you the following persons who have been found worthy both in character and in learning to be awarded postgraduate diplomas of the University of Benin.
By the powers conferred on me as Chancellor, I award each of you present and those who are absent, for whom the Provost stands proxy, postgraduate diplomas as appropriate of the University of Benin. Congratulations.
Will the recipients of the degrees of masters please stand? Chancellor, sir, in the name of the College of Postgraduate Studies and by the authority of Senate, I present to you the following persons who have been found worthy both in character and in learning to be awarded degrees of masters as appropriate of the University of Benin.
By the powers conferred on me as Chancellor, I award each of you present and those who are absent for whom the Provost stands proxy, degrees of masters as appropriate of the University of Benin. Congratulations.
Will the recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy degrees Chancellor, sir, in the name of the College of Postgraduate Studies and by the authority of Senate, I present to you the following persons who have been found worthy both in character and learning to be awarded Doctor of Philosophy degree as appropriate of the University of Benin.
By the powers conferred on me as Chancellor, I confer on each of you, those present, and those who are absent for whom the Provost stands proxy, the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy as appropriate of the University of Benin. Congratulations. Now, this is impressive. And getting a PhD is not an easy thing. And in recognition of that, I will permit the Provost to call your names individually. And as they call your name, you proceed and come up here to receive the royal blessing of the Chancellor.
His Majesty, His Royal Majesty, the Chancellor of our university, and I have the honor to call the recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy degree of University of Benin to ascend the dais before the Chancellor for a handshake. Emmanuel Odun, please, as you hear your name, you will ascend the dais and have a handshake with the Chancellor. Abdul Karim Omoti, Magdalene Omorigi, Edmond Arabian, James Adebi, Rosemary Ikini Kore, Ayodeji Ebenezer, Eko Don Doma, Hakim Adebimiti, Ufoma Kutimi, Victor Modo, Ibrahim Salim, Victor Eyakwina, Gloria Ogono, Hassan Utinwa, Albert Nwosu, Joseph Odigie, Belinda Bienosen Osagede, Felicia Edosa, Robert Oyemo Milara, Latif Ayoba Midele, Gabriel Ubwane, Nicholas Akore, Awele Peace Nke, Ejiro Odeka, Eden Donatus, Akorobo Ejebo, Akpofure Ufuoma Orerwata, Joseph Uwanfo, Yahaya Garba, Abimbola Akisonwo, Adiru Adeboye, Kehinde Olatunji, Adekule Fowotade, Precious Omusi, Sheyi Enita, Kingsley Omonso, Monday Oyowe Botu, Paulinus Ofutali, Egwagi Osakwe, Fidelis Oyahire, Aladuna Omo Irabo, Sylvia Owie, Moyinoluwa Babatunde, Orobosa Aikorioge, Ayodele Adelakun, Solomon Jacob, Ayodele Eson, Emmanuel Etin, Iniobon, Abasibon, Christiana Akpo, Fidelis Okafor. Fidelis Okafor is the Protent Dean of School of Nursing. This is his second PhD degree. He is also a professor. Eunice Osia, Yetunde Olawale, Ogechukwu Alo Amaka, Olobun Abuda, Oyenka Ozo, Roslyn Ebohon, Francis Bonga, Haye Karuni Daniel, Festus Idiare, Blessing Edopolo, Olabode Fakiye, Peter Agbarobi, Osaide Egwagi, Peter Ovo Vorone, Stella Ibiotoso Uyi Osaitin, Vivian Ifunaya Ono, Edison Osabonie Asemuta, Mercy Durotoye, Oyebuchi Tango Ibe, Tefa Jatu, Ikechukwu Osaiga, Evelyn Obozokai, Christiana Ngozi Nandi, Jean Esther Agboyi Adeniyi, Miriam Osadebame Okomina, Celestina Omonafe Aleto, Courage Adiagbe, Kingsley Ichazu, Robert Osayande Arasoma, Precious Ehis Olaoluwa, Nosahai Anthony Iduboy, Peter Olorunmowaju Ajayi, Omofoman Jumbu Irabo, Iyabo Ayodeji Ukana, Shegun Blessing Akin Tuntari, Faith Clara Giwabu, Francis Enahuru Morgan, Patience Ndidi Agoma, Uche Wani Abeka Azi, Eunice Odibie, Douglas Osaye Kime Oronsaye, Victor Chahene Raimo, Shegun Peter Oladipupo, Eunice Lucky Irimore, Eva Coy Faith Destiny, Aloye Momo, Christopher Osas Aluya, Yetunde Tracy Uwe, Osayemi Esther Akinyotu, Ruth Oluwa Usayo Oyesode, Dokas Olajoju Obisesa, Gloria Imie Momo Ogbede, Bamidele Esther Adeyanju, Fumilola Mary Babalola, Linda Chiye Aniye Rano, Grace Bamidele Olamide, Blessing Joseph Osa, Doris Ifaluyi, Osamudiame Oiwo, Samuel Adeshina Adebi Mileke, Comfort Oluwatoyi Ogunfulore, Scott Obaya Yanedo Ibubo, Edosa Osa, Cyprian Chukwuyemike Koyeha, Collins Belobi Fifemo Bebefa, Kingsley Okwagene Inalume, Ulzona Gabriel Anamoye, Tina Emigare Ogiagbe, Osarodion Mavis Edohe, Neville Samuel Idiaki, Solomon Enogagase Ebu Botiti, Tajudin Abdul Rahim, Martins Omoifu Oyedo, Joseph Ogbe Kilu, Alex Alibe, Bashir Esima Musa, Michael Oame Inahu, Omoze James Unuarepa, Pius Honoriode Ekere, Benjamin Ufoma Udini, David Alaiba, Augustine Osaetin Osafwe, Kingsley Udoka Enuezi, Rabi Musa Audu, Henry Odion Udika, Caroline Ufoma Oboba, Kingsley Benga Osubo, Amechi Adindu Nwobe, Friday Chukwuye Igbesi, David Atadios, Lucky Omo Rigoye Eyituoyo, Ijeoma Carmelita Ilobe, Evuko Wiro Ojefa, Williams Otimeyin Ayemo, Joseph Izonowe Sozawe, Patricia Ngozi Wamudike, Paul Elijah, Alexander Iyen Idemudia, Martins Ufoma Eki, God's Power Awoturefe Ojari, Kesimen Philip Odudu, Anthony Cosmas Esiet, Violet Osarumese Osaremo, Grace Oyejuwa Idioma, Luke Chukudi Mwaneke, Juliet Arama Amirobiye, Simon Osose Edeoje, Stella Aneto, Habibat Joy Ozemoka, Igiobe Agamoli, Osaetin Peter Uwaifu, Ehizoje Charles Osime, Pedola Lujide Ayeni, Amenze Imwetinya Ukumbowa, Olayemi Mujidat, Mamidu, Raphael Aima, Ami Benomo, Oluwagbenga John Ogumbi, Erumuse Datin Ava, Esther Fumilayo Adeogun, Oluwadamilola Moranike Kolawole, Olatomi Rita Aino, Ikechukwu Innocent Inoma, Progress Boyo Agonile, Faith Iyoma Obije, Emmanuel Nagozi Anu Mobo, Chukwudi Francis Price, Lucy Unoma Ushinoya, Wincy Obome Ebosele, Afame Funa Dunku Ukafo, Chukwunoso Nelly Amolo, Sandra Ameze Okomina, Rufus Imamowe Aso, Abonomaire Stephanie Obebo, Anthony Chukuma Isiekwene, Augustina Ike Imoni, Faithfulness Osawe Osegali Osaze Ekundayo Izebuwa, Kashmai Asadi, Enofe Soni Ojimobo, Osayomore Endurance Eva Utome, Ebei Peace Asa Moni, Amarachi Ojebu, Akande Theophilus Dania, Kingsley Peter Agbe, Osase Thompson, Osaro Itota, Uzo Abaka Neka Okoke, Florence Lusayana Ibinoma, Amenze Melody Eweka, Franklin Taye Umagba, Umagbo Owagiaye Iyoha, Efosa Ehima, Idris Kadiri, Nancy Eguari, Ewosa Isabel Umasabo, Donan Usadebame Umwetinya, Egwonon Evi Eju Uekoko, Wasiu Abiodun Sayolu, Toba Olakunle Abiloro, Tunde Obon Te Inse, Bavi Oluchi Wambuku, Omoman Evelyn Ohidwa Tuluwa, Sunday Fatoba Adebayo, Osahon Okumbo, Thaddeus Osaheni Akpata, Isaiah Ibinosa Omozuwa, Lusaha Friday Waifu, Omena Obehi Binoba, Isaac Eno Guogo Odia, Godwin Oku, Oyowe Akajako, Albert Omoruli Osazebaru, Ganiyu Mamudu, Lawa Bamidele Akim, Sylvester Omorogeba Uwadiai, Osarume Evans Ekwabon, Judith Uwowo Amadasu, Effective of Faith Jeffrey Mark Okosu, Nkem Christabel Okonkwo, Emmanuel Onakbene, Oyeka Amaju Elumelu, Imade Uduoze, Johnson Nkem Upere, Babatunde Oshobuyi Festus, Raphael Omehe, Jennifer Omodame, Osamudiame Leader Uruvense, Julius Uyi Irohun, Samuel Jacob Ngobwa, Sipra Osita Uzochukwu, Moses Bariaweni, Paul Otto Ona, Bello Adekunle Mudashiru, Joshua Odiagbe Idiake, Irene Osegani, Gregory Esosa Onaibu, Unke Donatus Achibon, Timothy Imwetiyan Abu, Victoria Ogochukwu Idode, Sonny Duke Okosu, Taiwo Toyin Oshin, Franklin Awolika Obiru, Kate Mokobia, Godfrey Osatuhame Utabo, Peter Abdul Katio, Umar bin Abdullahi, Amenaramo Imuwahe Ehikochi, Idara Ifyo James. Ambrose Osari Given Iyase, Abubakar Bello Afekwa, Olorunfemi Akin Akindo, Prince Harrison Ehimiye, Kenneth Okoruwa Ihesefie, Andrew Ikowosa Amadasun, Edith Nkechi Ogbuagu, Harrison Imafu Okao, Osahon Imaru, Dominic Nelson Jones Oame, Chukwuye Joy Arime, Anna Ogoven Akenzua, Thomas Obare Igabo, Patience Amaka Omamo, Benedict Ibogun Ajayi, Patience Ehizogi, Augustine Imabo Tobi, Olayemi Omolola Prince Obadiye, Uchaya Benedita Webe, Charles Monday Afibe, Godwin Rubenson Udua, Pius Eleji Aka, Abigail Omije, Raymond Francis Wambali, Efosa Kingsley Ediye, Grace Elia Remy, Vivian Alimete Yuka, Abimbola Makinde, Marcel Ko, Eniye Tina Odia, Osayiwame Oladeshedu, and the last but not the least, the 334 candidate is Mary Agonayima Ibaru.
Chancellor, sir. Dr. Mrs. Juliet Agana and Roby of the Department of Public Law will deliver a valedictory speech on behalf of the 2023-2024 postgraduate graduates of this university.
Boundaries and challenging laws. We have immersed ourselves in the depths of different scientific testing and analysis, theories, jurisprudence, and the intricacies of human society. We have questioned, we have analyzed, and we have contributed to the ever-evolving landscape of our different fields. But this moment is not just about our individual achievements, it is about the collective power of our shared experience. We have learned from one another, grown with one another, and now we are poised to make our mark, not only in Nigeria, but the world at large. We can influence policies, drive legislative changes, and inspire a new generation of leaders. We can be the catalyst for a more just, equitable, and prosperous world. To my fellow graduates, as we go forth, this is just the beginning. The road ahead will be tough, but it is ours to conquer. Let us carry forward the torch of integrity, using our skills to drive impacts, promote justice, and serve humanity. Let us be the change we wish to see, and let us leave a lasting legacy. Let us remember that our postgraduate certificate is not just a title, it is a huge responsibility. It is a call to action, a commitment to excellence, and a dedication to the greater good. Let us continue to put on the garment of excellence, using our skills to promote innovation and drive impacts. To our families, friends, and mentors, thank you for your unwavering support, your love, guidance, guidance and encouragement have brought us to this moment, and we will forever be grateful. And the words of a renowned poet, the people have a right to participate. The people have a right to decide. And above all, we are immensely grateful to the great University of Benin, to our teachers, our supervisors, for their efforts in ensuring that we are here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Chancellor, sir, please, I want to take your kind permission to announce that we remain on our seats until after this program. Dr. Mrs. Julian mentioned that the certificate is a call to higher responsibility. By your sitting down to abide by the rules and regulations shows that the training has really impacted on you. We don't want this place to be in disarray and people going out. Particularly the last segment is very important to the Chancellor of this university, and he's always very, he looks forward to our students comporting themselves. And in that great spirit of University of Benin, please remain on your seats and let's wait for the remaining part of this program, which I'm sure in a short while will be out of this place. Chancellor, sir, I have the singular honor and privilege this time around to invite the representative of the visitor to this university who is going to deliver the visitor's address. He was here with us last year and he did a lot of counseling for us, for those of us at the back end. You might not see for those of us in front, but at the back end, he really schooled us in many areas and we have improved on those areas, and I'm sure he will attest to that this year. The representative of the visitor is also a distinguished scholar and vice-chancellor of a sister university. I almost took him for his other brother. He's a twin. He has a twin brother, very ebullient and distinguished Nigerian. Today we are proud to announce that we have Professor Owunari Abraham Jodwe, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Port Harcourt, representing the visitor. Visitor, sir.
Thank you. Address delivered by the visitor, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, at the 51st Convocation and 55th Founders Day ceremonies of University of Benin on Saturday, 29th November 2025. The Chancellor, the Pro-Chancellor, the Vice-Chancellor, Your Royal Highnesses and Majesties, other principal officers, members of the Senate, distinguished guests, staff and students of the University of Benin, ladies and gentlemen of the press. It is with profound honor and deep satisfaction that I join you on this historic occasion of the 51st Convocation and 55th Founders Day ceremonies of the University of Benin, taking place today, the 29th of November, 2025. I wish to acknowledge the remarkable leadership and unwavering dedication of the Chancellor, Tontif, the Pro-Chancellor, the Vice-Chancellor, and the entire management team. Your steadfast commitment, supported by diligent staff and resilient students, has ensured the uninterrupted progress and stability of this great institution. Today's ceremony is a testament to your collective resolve, and the nation salutes your efforts. To the graduating class, I extend my heartfelt congratulations. You have worked with determination, discipline, and vision to reach this significant milestone. I equally celebrate the parents and guardians whose sacrifices, quiet, noble, and immeasurable, have made this achievement possible. Be assured that the nation recognizes your contributions, and I pray that your labor of love shall yield abundant fruits. The federal government of Nigeria under this administration remains fully committed to building a modern, globally competitive system of tertiary education, one marked by excellence, innovation, and integrity. We recognize that universities are not merely centers of learning. They are engines of national transformation. It is for this reason that we have pursued deliberate, impactful policies designed to strengthen institutions, empower scholars, and build a future-ready generation of graduates. I am particularly pleased with the encouraging reports emerging from the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund. While students of federal universities currently benefit from this initiative, the government is actively considering expanding access so that more citizens can enjoy this pathway to opportunity. This program stands as a symbol of our commitment to equity, ensuring that financial constraints do not prevent any Nigerian from aspiring to higher education. Consistent with our inclusive philosophy, federal universities will continue to operate without tuition fees. I therefore urge our students to make full use of the opportunities available through NELFund to secure a higher future. In line with the renewed hope agenda and in recognition of global shifts, this administration has placed strong emphasis on education, particularly technical, digital, and vocational skills. Our approach is intentional and forward-looking. The recent restructuring of university curricula by the National University Commission is part of our broader strategy to prepare graduates for the realities and demands of the modern world. As government jobs can no longer be the sole aspiration, we expect our graduates to emerge as job creators, innovative, self-reliant, and globally competitive, just as they are in the advanced economies around the world. At this significant juncture, I charge all graduates gathered here today to carry forth the spirit of hope, resilience, and purposeful ambition. You are stepping into a world where Nigeria is redefining its future, rebuilding its systems, reshaping its economy, and renewing its promises to its people. The opportunities before you are vast, but they demand courage, innovation, and unwavering commitment to service. Let these values be your compass as you begin your life's journey beyond these walls. Always remember that the nation looks to you and to your counterparts across our universities to be key drivers of national renewal. We count on you to apply your knowledge, your creativity, and your skill set towards entrepreneurship, innovation, and the growing creative industries that now shape the global economy. I am especially pleased with the progress recorded in this university under the leadership of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Edoba Omorege SAN. The introduction of various technical and vocational programs is a forward-looking initiative that aligns with our national priorities. These programs, designed to cultivate practical skills, enterprise, and innovation, are commendable and reflect the spirit of transformation we seek to entrench across all our institutions of higher learning. The Artisan Training Program, implemented in collaboration with the Industrial Training Fund and supported by the federal government, is of particular strategic importance to my administration. This initiative provides free vocational training in critical trades such as tailoring, welding and fabrication, automobile maintenance, plumbing, poultry production, cybersecurity, amongst others. These opportunities are part of our deliberate investment in human capital development. And I strongly encourage both undergraduates and graduates to take full advantage of them. I commend the University of Benin for being at the forefront of nurturing a generation of skilled graduates who are equipped to transform knowledge into practical, productive outcomes. In doing so, you continue to uphold the noble motto of this university, knowledge for service. I also acknowledge and appreciate the staff of this institution for standing with the government through challenging times. As partners in the pursuit of national progress, we must continue to embrace constructive dialogue as a pathway to mutually beneficial solutions. As you are well aware, great institutions are built on trust, stability, and unity of purpose. This government remains committed to the welfare of all citizens. While resources may not always be sufficient to satisfy every need at once, I urge the university community to keep faith, confident that your concerns have been addressed with sincerity and diligence. The demands of staff unions may not all be met simultaneously, but rest assured that your interests and those of our students occupy prominent positions within our national agenda. In the short term, the federal government has introduced the Tertiary Institution Staff Support Trust Fund, TISSF, to mitigate existing challenges. I encourage all staff to take advantage of this initiative and continue to give their best as mothers of the nation's future leaders. Furthermore, this administration remains resolute in its commitment to ensuring that strikes within our universities become non-existent, or at the very least, reduced to the barest minimum. Despite financial constraints, we have active. Despite financial constraints, we have activated the necessary mechanisms to revitalize the education sector. Once again, I appeal to all staff and students to demonstrate understanding of the global economic pressures and to recognize the strategic interventions the government has introduced across the education system. Agencies such as Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TETFund, continue to play invaluable roles in complementing our development agenda. The extension of universities from the Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System, IPPIS, is one of the pragmatic steps taken to maintain an uninterrupted academic calendar and to minimize labor-related disruptions. In addition, the recent inauguration through the Federal Ministry of Education of the tertiary institutions, governance and transparency platform forms part of our broader commitment to accountability, transparency, and efficiency within tertiary institutions. This innovative, data-driven initiative is designed to enhance public trust in funding processes and strengthen governance structure across the education sector. Our unwavering goal remains academic excellence, and we recognize that this can only be achieved in an atmosphere of stability, integrity, and confidence. Once again, I extend heartfelt congratulations to all today's graduates for attaining this significant milestone, one that marks the beginning of self-fulfillment, responsible citizenship, and meaningful social impact. I also salute the collective efforts of all stakeholders of the University of Benin, the revered Chancellor, the Governing Council, the management, the Senate, the staff, students, alumni, parents, and guardians, for sustaining a climate of hope and possibility within this great institution. Our renewed hope agenda seeks to ignite and amplify the immense potential of our nation. And our universities must continue to blaze the trail in realizing this vision. I thank you all for your attention.
Please take your seats. Chancellor, sir, we are gradually coming to the end of this program. So many speeches have been made. Our own very distinguished self, the Pro-Chancellor, the Vice-Chancellor, talking about the milestones in this university, particularly under this administration. But the visitor's address has put a cap on all of them, which means that the President duly recognizes the good work being done by this university. Let's give our university and let the visitors address a round of applause to celebrate the university. Chancellor, sir, it is my singular honor and privilege to invite you to declare convocation closed. Chancellor.
I now declare this convocation closed.
I have the privilege of the Chancellor to acknowledge the presence of the representative of the Delta State Government, Commissioner for Higher Education, Professor Nyejogo Tolukari. Welcome, sir. And so we rise for the Unibed Anthem and then the National Pledge. the national pledge. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity, and uphold the honor and glory. So help me God. Please remain standing. The Chancellor's procession will leave the auditorium in reverse order.